I'm back. So in the last episode, we talked about, will the real you stand up? And we talked about why it's important for you to uncover and unearth the real you, especially when you feel like there's some greatness in you and you feel like you can accomplish more and you feel like you can do more and you feel like you can make more and you feel like you have purpose and you feel like you have a calling and you feel like you're not satisfied because there's something else you should be doing. And today, what I want to talk to you about is the strategy of how to get there. Because guess what? If the real you is going to stand up, if you are going to break out of your comfort zone, if you are going to live the life you've always dreamed of, it is going to require some action. And I know we live in a society where it's a microwave generation, right? Where we feel like I want to pop something in the microwave and have it right now. Or we feel like, you know what? I don't want to have to wait for it. I should be able to just Google it and it happens. No. You don't become who you were designed to be by accident. You don't become who you were designed to be with no effort. You don't become who you were designed to be without developing personally, and you do not become who you were designed to be without any action. So today we are going to talk about the action that's going to get you to the next level to help you reach the goals that you've always dreamed of and become the real you, the you that you've been thinking about, the you that no one else sees quite yet, the you that knows that they can do more. So the first action item, if you will, that you need to take in order to become the real you and achieve what you want to achieve is, number one, you need to demand more from yourself than you did yesterday. Okay, this means that, let me give an example like this. Has someone ever done something or not done something and you looked at them and you're like, you need to do better? Or you get upset with them or you get mad with them and it's like, why are you giving me subpar effort? Why are you giving me less than I know you can? And you feel these emotions and you want to, like, you don't want to choke them or anything like that, but you kind of want to like shake them a little bit, like, hey, you can do better. You can do more. This is not what I expected. This is not what I asked for. If you've ever felt like that about anybody, hey, if you have a child, I'm sure you've probably felt that way. If you have a spouse, I'm sure you probably felt that way. If you have people on your team, and you lead, like, as a leader in an organization or something like that, I'm sure you felt that way. But I want you to feel that way today about yourself. I want you to look at yourself and say, you can do better. Or better phrasing it, say right now, I can do better. I can do more. Doesn't it feel good to say that? And then demand yourself to do better than you did yesterday. Sometimes we can get in our comfort zone and feel like, I don't want to do anything else. I don't feel like it. Well, guess what? You are not going to be successful doing what you feel like doing. You are not going to accomplish your wildest dreams doing only what you feel like doing. Okay, so demand more from yourself. The second thing is you need to maintain good character. It is so important to maintain good character. And then when you maintain good character, this means you don't make decisions in extreme emotion, right? Like you're the same all the time. Who you are is who you are when people are watching and when no one is watching. And so the reason why I don't want you to make decisions in extreme emotion is because when you do that, you tend to make the wrong ones or decisions that you'll regret. Like if you're too happy and you're too excited, then you jump and make a rash decision that maybe you like, ooh, I should have thought about that or did a little research, right? You ever made an emotional purchase, and then later you spend a bunch of money and you're like, what did I do? Or you get really angry and you say something and that word vomit comes out of your mouth and now you can't retrieve it and take it back and you wish that you wouldn't have said that, right? Or maybe you get too depressed and down and you do something that you regret or say something that you regret and maybe had you allowed your emotions to kind of get back on the upward spiral, you wouldn't have behaved in that way. And so you don't want to make decisions in extreme emotion on any side because your emotions can cause you to do things that the real you really doesn't want to do, right? I remember, so I'll be transparent, right? So I actually one morning, I got up at like 5. I had a hair appointment super early, and I wasn't historically known for really getting up early in the morning. So I would be, like, if I got up real early, I would be kind of discombobulated, right? So I was discombobulated. I got in my car, and my husband's car was parked behind mine for one reason or another. And I tried to, like, instead of waking him up or getting his keys to move the car, my silly self, I tried to drive around his car with little room in the driveway, and there's like this metal pole like thingy in my grass right by the driveway, and instead of, I didn't even realize it was there. So when I veered my steering wheel around to be able to get around it, I was hitting the pole and something was in the way, and I kept going forward and backward and forward and backward, like, what in the world is in the way? And I kept hitting whatever this thing was, back and forth. Until finally I got out the car and realized that it was the metal pole that was in our grass, and I'm like, ugh, I tore my car up. So I was completely devastated, right? I was upset, I was mad. Number one, I was late to my hair appointment. Number two, I tore my car up on my own with nobody there, in my own driveway, which was like crazy. And so I felt like, okay, this is crazy. And then I remembered that my deductible with my insurance was $1,000. And so I got a quote for the to fix the issue with the car from me hitting the pole. And I think the quote was maybe around $2,000 or $2,200. And so I felt like, if I spend $2,200, number one, I got to spend $1,000 for my deductible, and it's just $1,200 to fix it. Is that even worth using my insurance for, and then having my insurance go up? And so I was upset. And so at any rate, simultaneously, I needed to get an oil change. I went to get an oil change, and do you know what I did, friends? I left the car lot with a new car. Okay? Because I was so upset. And it was a bad decision, because I would not have done that had I not been that upset. Because my car was almost paid off. I traded that car in, got a new car, and tacked on 5 more years to a loan, and then had to carry over some of that from the other car simply because I was upset. How many times do we make choices out of our emotions and then we go back and regret? You don't want to do that. You do not want to do that. When you know who you are, you operate in good character and allow yourself, and you're self-aware, so you can make sure that you can make the right decisions, not based off of how you feel, okay? The fourth thing that you need to do in order to uncover the real you, right, and achieve what you want to achieve is you don't have to do everything, but do something, right? Like, take a step in the direction that you want to go. There's a quote that says, if you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. If you can't crawl, look, right? Even if you just look in the direction. Momentum comes from movement. One of the things that I found in life and career and whatever I'm trying to work towards, the minute I take a step in the direction that I want to go in, things get a little bit easier. You have to do something, even if it's just researching the thing that you want to do, right? Even if it's just calling somebody, if you need to apologize or whatever you need to do, take a step in the direction. Even if it's just like journaling and making a plan, do something. You don't have to do everything, but you got to do something, right? And you know there's something that you need to do. Most of the time, we know the steps that we need to take. We just are delaying in taking them. The fourth thing is confront your negative beliefs and command your life. As I mentioned earlier about my childhood, there were a lot of things that happened to me as far as being abused and ignored and so on and so forth that caused me to feel rejected. I dragged that same attitude into adulthood, and every time I would get upset, or every time somebody would tell me I need to do something, every time somebody would tell me I could do something better, every time somebody would, it was time for me to step out and do something I really want to do, I would feel like I would shrink back and feel like, well, I don't want to be seen, and who's going to want to listen to me, and who, what if, in this whole loop, right? Only to discover that it was my little girl on the inside of me who was preventing me from moving forward, and I had to confront those negative beliefs and command my life in the direction that I wanted to go. So I needed to be able to say, okay, it doesn't matter where I've been, where am I going, and what is it going to take to get there? I want to encourage you to do something. I want you to write out, where are you going to be this time next year? Just take a note, write it out. I want you to write out, where are you going to be financially? Where are you going to be in your family? Where are you going to be in your finances? Where are you going to be, I'm trying to find another F to say, right? Like family, finances, where are you going to be just, in your personal development? I couldn't find one, so I'm going to just keep going, right? Where are you going to be spiritually, emotionally? What does that look like? Write it down, and then take a moment to really close your eyes. Get a mental picture. I'm smiling because, when I start closing my eyes and thinking about where I'm going to be in a year or 2 years or 5 years, I can literally see the things that I've written down. And when you can see that, something on the inside of you pulls you towards it and allows you to confront the negative things that say it's not going to happen to you, that say you're too old, you're too young, you're not pretty enough, you're not popular enough, nobody likes you, nobody's going to want to hear you, nobody's going to want to see you, you're not, all those things that come up when you try to do something that you know you should do, that when the real you tries to rise up, right? When that happens, think about those first thoughts that come to your mind. And if it's not a positive one, get rid of the negative thought. Replace it with a positive one. For example, if you feel like, when the feeling rises up to take a step in the direction of your purpose or whatever, and you think, what if I fail? Turn that around and say, you know what? But what if it works? What's the worst that could happen if I try? Like, same scenario, just different wordings. And the way you speak to yourself determines the type of action that you take, okay? And the fifth and final thing, if you're going to, unearth you, is just be you, right? Be you. The word be means to exist or to live. So exist or live as you. You can't be anybody else. You see this? My fingerprint, right? Like, no one else has the fingerprint that I have. No one else has your fingerprint. No one else has your story, your life, your experiences. And so whatever you have to offer the world, nobody else has. Isn't that awesome? And I made a quick acronym, right? Like, so just in closing, for being you. For the Y, it is yield. And to yield means to produce or be productive. It also can mean to surrender. So being you, the Y, produce, be productive, do the thing that you know that you're supposed to do. Don't try to step in somebody else's lane, because then you'll be frustrated. Stay in your own lane and do the thing and produce the thing that you are skilled at. Surrender to the process. Don't try to be so uptight. Let go. The O is optimistic, right? So optimism is to be hopeful and confident for the future. When you are being you, you feel excitement for the future. You feel contentment. You feel at peace. You're optimistic. You see good things happening because you know that you're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing to get the right result. And then lastly, the U is for unique. Unique is being only one of its kind. And I think that speaks for itself. There's only one you. You're the only one who has walked in your shoes. So I'm going to ask for you to step into those shoes and stand up. Let the real you stand up so the world can get what they're waiting for. You're not waiting for the world. The world is waiting for you.